years, Bardstown police, friends, and family are still searching for answers into who murdered Officer Jason Ellis. Thanks for joining us for Wave 3 News at 4. I'm David Mattingly. Don G is off today. Today, people gathered for a memorial service on the anniversary of the officer's death. Wave 3 News reporter Tori Gessner has the story now from Bardstown.
The thin blue line. The line that represents a police officer's role to separate the good from the bad. To friends and family, that was Jason Ellis.
He stood between good and evil. He stood for what was right. And I think more than ever today, I want that to be what everybody thinks about. He stood between good and evil, and he was the sacrifice.
The sacrifice, ambushed, shot and killed on his way home from duty. With no camera on the dashboard of his patrol car, 8 years later, his blood family and Blue still search for answers.
We are all plagued by the events of that night and why no one has been brought to justice. There isn't a day that goes by that we don't remember, honor, or talk about Jason.
Tuesday was no exception, laying a wreath in Ellis's honor, singing and praying. His fellow officers, firefighters, and former Bardstown Police Chief Rick McCubbin watched on.
They're in the same boat we are. We're all, seconds away from a tragedy, and more than ever, one that's unsolved, one that you feel like there should be more of an outcry. These people are our only outcry.
And as they wait for answers, no matter how long it takes, they hope people never forget Ellis and his sacrifice.
Like my daughter has always said, when the time is right, when the time is right. And we're just waiting on that right time. So we're just patiently waiting. And it will happen. It will.
If you know anything about Ellis's case, you're asked to call Kentucky State Police Post 4.
Welcome back, Trade Confederacy, to another reading. And this reading is going to kick off our little series for the Bardstown Unsolved. This starts out with the police officer, Jason Ellis. Then it goes to the special ed teacher, Miss Kathy Netherland, and her daughter Samantha, who was 16. To Crystal Rogers and her father, Tommy Ballard. So it looks like to me that these all happened within succession of each other. One each year. It was May 2013 for Officer Ellis. It was 2014, I believe, August 2014 for the Netherlands. July 2015 for Crystal Rogers. And November 2016 for Mr. Ballard. So we're going to start this reading off with Officer Jason Ellis. I'm going to see if these are connected in any way. And if they aren't, just to find out what happened. Quite possibly any info that we can gather that might be a clue to bring them justice. And just to keep this in the public eye, that they're not forgotten. So this is going to be on Mr. Jason Ellis, who was a police officer who was shot and killed on his way home from work on May the 25th, 2013, off exit 34, coming off the Bluegrass Parkway. There were branches in the road, and he stopped to remove them so any passing motorist wouldn't get in a wreck or get damaged for their car. So, Mr. Jason Ellis. Officer Jason Ellis. Here we go. Okay. Now let's going to start with the first card here, which is going to give us the circumstances surrounding Officer Ellis's murder. It's going to be the Hierophant. Hierophant is a card that represents traditional values, also institutions. This could be economic, political, religious. It signifies now is a time to conform to this convention or tradition, that it's not a time to rock the boat. Okay, the next card is going to give us the reason for these circumstances. It's going to be Eight of Pentacles reversed. That's feeling trapped. It shows a cycle coming to an end. This card is also telling you that you need to direct your energy toward finding a different or new career. Now, the next one is going to be the influence or the forces behind Officer Ellis's murder. It's going to be the Nine of Pentacles. It's working hard for what you want, finishing what you start, defending or protecting your home and or family. Next one is going to be involvement. That's going to be the Eight of Wands. It's a card set in action. This card also shows the profession of carpentry or work that involves using or building, start with like framework. Building. Carpentry. Okay, the next card is going to be showing Jason's state of mind. It's going to be the King of Cups reversed. It's someone that's revealing an emotional vulnerability. It's being secretive and ashamed. Okay, now the next one is going to be the events that led up to this, and that's going to be the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is usually the thief card. It's telling you to protect your property. It's also encountering a challenge to your position at work. Fraudulent business dealings. The next one's going to be how the crime unfolded. There's going to be Queen of Swords reversed. That's showing you being in a situation where you're unjustly attacked. It's pretty cut and dry on what happened to him. That was a coward's way to kill somebody. The next one is going to show the perpetrator. It's going to be the Strength reversed. It's somebody who's feeling weak, vulnerable, with no confidence. The next one is going to be the Motive. That's the World reversed. That's feeling outdone by someone else. So that's being feeling outdone by Mr. Ellis, Officer Ellis. The last card is going to show us the last words from the cards. That's going to be the Hangman. That's facing a dilemma, being unsure which path to take, and things not turn out as you planned. It looks to me like Officer Ellis has come upon some fraudulent business dealings of carpentry work. Someone that does carpentry work, building or whatever. And rather than to conform to the old boys club, or that's what I feel like, he was secretive and ashamed because I wonder if he's played along, but no, because he wouldn't have been killed for it. What did the Houck boys do? I know they had properties they rented, but did they build properties to rent? I feel like that these boys, I feel like this is definitely related to Brooks and Nick Houck. Definitely. 100%. Carpentry work, being involvement, shady business or fraudulent business dealings, a challenge to his position. I feel like that these boys has probably got away with shady business dealings and doing whatever they wanted. I'm going to say writing on their grandma's name. And nobody's ever challenged them until Mr. Ellis come along. Mr. Ellis challenged them. They challenged back. This was all over something he knew or found out of shady, fraudulent business dealings. That's exactly what this is. So I'm going to say, so far, I'm going to guarantee that Crystal's found out their involvements in Mr. Ellis, his death. Probably of her doing the books for his and collecting rent for his properties. I would say she's probably found all this out. I'm going to say these two are connected at least. I'm not sure yet about the teacher and her daughter, but somehow, some way, this will all fit together. These are all connected. This was pretty much toe cut and dry right here. He's figured out their fraudulent business dealings. He's challenged them. They've challenged back. It didn't work out as they planned. This wasn't in their plans because they expected everybody to go along with their fraudulent business dealings. And when he didn't, he had to go. He knew too much, and he wasn't going to conform to their conventional ways, their traditional ways, which was letting the old boys club run the town. He was ready to clean it up, and they weren't about to let that happen. Yeah, this is going to be, I'm excited to get to the next read now. I want to thank you for taking the time to go through this reading with me. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye now.
Better bump, better bump.